Yo, Still Mills, what's the dizzle, man? Y'all gonna have to excuse me. My voice a little raspy, got a little sore throat from my daughter. But we since we on the subject of Undisputed, like I said, salute to Josh Taylor. I had him winning the fight before the fight, and I was somewhat right as far as my prediction is concerned, with him being able to establish distance later in the fight. He did that. So salute to him. But since we're on the subject of Undisputed, I want to get into Anthony Joshua and how we need to give him his flowers right now and stop all the bullshit hating on him that these motherfuckers do. At this point, it shouldn't even be a thought in anybody's head as to who is chasing greatness. Everybody keeps this dude is going for Undisputed, and every time he gets close to that goal, he gets tripped up at the finish line some way, somehow. Some way, somehow. $100 million was slave wages, and he, they didn't know my worth or know his worth. Undisputed is under the way for another particular fighter who shall remain nameless. A stadium is getting built. Yet, arbitration, that whole debacle, man. So, at this point, I think we'll probably start to see Anthony Joshua that goes back to what he was when he fought Dillian White. A killer. A calculated killer. I think that's what we're about to get, and I don't think that's something that Usyk at this point in time wants to stand in front of. I think the anger is clearly manifested because, Joshua has always conducted himself with a sense of class. And, when Dillian White was banging on him in the face-off, he still extended his hand to him. And look what happened. You feel me? But I think he's never, I don't really recall him going on the attack on Twitter and banging on his contemporaries. I don't too much recall that. I recall a dude who was just, he's always class personified. And now he's like, yo, fuck this, my nigga. I'm on y'all ass. I'm on y'all ass. They've drugged this man's name through the mud. They've been, at least here, the Americans, black Americans have. They've drugged his name through the mud. One of my coaches, he's a white guy. He drug his name. I'm like, yo, y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop, man. I mean, this dude, and he was quiet. Most people who, they can't take that type of punishment, especially if it's coming from a place of dishonesty. And he ate that. He ate that. He didn't say nothing. He still remained class personified. And even after he lost to Ruiz, he was still class personified. When everybody was, really just slandering this dude, he was still class personified. I think now this is kind of the tipping point where he's like, man, I'm going to just have to turn into the bad man. And he's turning into that man. And I think it's going to be really problematic for anybody who's standing on the opposite side of that dude. I already didn't think Usyk was going to be able to deal with the Anthony Joshua. And it's not necessarily, Usyk to me is proving that he can compete in the heavyweight division. Derek Chisora is a game opponent and a damn good opponent to have on your resume. And some people think he won against Joseph Parker. And who was Joseph Parker? A former world heavyweight champion. Usyk clearly outclassed him. So I don't think, I know for a fact Usyk can compete in the heavyweight division just on the skill set alone. It's not his pop that's gonna get him through these opponents and through the opposition in there. It's his IQ, it's his lateral movement, it's his patience, his counterpunching, it's that. It's the ability to set traps, even as a shorter fighter. It's all of that. So I think he can compete in the division, but with the elites, I'm not so sure. Maybe with Wilder, I think he could compete with Wilder. I think he could find a way to outthink him in the in the clinch. Because I don't think he's gonna stay on the outside for him to be dog food. Well, with Joshua, it's like you're not gonna be able to stay away from Joshua. That dude's he a really good 1-2. I can't really think of a southpaw I seen Joshua stand in front of. Charles Martin. Charles Martin's a southpaw. I don't think Charles Martin is anywhere as good as Alexander Usyk, but he has height on Usyk. He's not as nearly as elusive as Usyk. He was there to be hit, but I just think that reach is gonna, you're not gonna be able to. The thing is, Derek Chisora was catching him with wide looping shots. Anthony Joshua is very tight and compact on his punches, and they hurt when they land. They hurt when you block them. So him being the nice guy early on, like he looked up at, he was damaging niggas, man. I think now he's gonna be really trying to gun some shit down. So I just think at this time, I don't know if I'm trying to stand in front of that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I think he's really got to his boiling point with these motherfuckers using his name. Because that was corny. That was a corny move. You can't use a nigga to boost your notoriety that the other two heavyweights have been completely shitting on for the past I don't know how many years. So I think I see Usyk getting stopped. I see Usyk getting stopped in like the mid rounds. I'm not even gonna front. At this point, I see Usyk getting stopped. He's not gonna be able to stay away from that jab. He's not gonna be able to stay away from that jab. He's gonna jab downstairs, jab. I mean, he has a really good jab. He stabs the jab to the body really good. The minute Usyk's hands start to drop, that right hand is coming over the top. You dig? I think Usyk could do a good job with keeping him on the outside, with staying outside and trying to walk him in the traps. Right? He'll do a pretty good job with that early on, but he'll start to chop Usyk down. He'll cut the ring off, cut the ring off, chop him down to the body, jab to the body, stab the jab to the body, and them right hands is coming over the top, and down goes Usyk. And I think because of the situation, we're gonna get an Anthony Joshua that's on demon time. This I'm telling you, man, this Anthony Joshua is coming out to really like lay some shit down, outline a nigga in chalk, like for real, bro. And I think that's the streak that he's going to need to further propel him over a Tyson Fury. That mean streak, that killer instinct that he once had. I think Killer Instinct is overrated, and motherfucker just going in there. I think it is overrated a tad bit, because I don't think if you're winning a fight, you winning the fight. If you're apprehensive, I mean, you got to think this is the heavyweight division. One punch can literally change the entire trajectory of the fight. So, why not be a lot more judicious in how you go in and you beat this man? You're a lot more calculated, you dig? I think motherfuckers was just expecting there to just go in there balls to the wall. That's how he got clipped by Ruiz. So, no, I'm not about to go in there and go balls to the wall. I'll still be looking for the knockout, but it may take me a while longer. I think that's smart. But I think with this Joshua, he'll be able to figure it out in a more enthusiastic way. He'll be able to figure it out in a more enthusiastic way earlier. And once that happens, man. So I don't think this is a Joshua that motherfuckers is trying to be in front of. And I think Usyk is about to get steamrolled, honestly. I've always thought Usyk would lose that fight, but I just see it being really a lot more dramatic now, due to the climate that we're in with these heavyweights. I see him being a lot more dramatic now. Like, oh shit, like Joshua just made a statement on another mandatory, on a former undisputed world champion at cruiserweight. So I don't know, man. That's how I'm feeling, man. I love the demeanor of Joshua right now. I think it's dope. I think he's showing he's letting his emotions, show. He's emotional. He's letting his emotions manifest, and he's voicing it. But it ain't like no crybaby hoe shit. But it's like, you bitch ass nigga, you just played me, man. You just played the fans. Like, you a hoe for that. That's his mentality. Talking about, I'll slap your ass. You're like, man. Anthony Joshua will be undisputed. Anthony Joshua will be undisputed. Hopefully in November, he will be undisputed. So that's how I'm feeling about it, man. Peace.